Hello world, how are you? We have some Q&A to do. Hope you're doing fine, 'cause it's Q&A time again. Hello world, how's it going? Hope everybody is doing well. And hopefully it works this time, 'cause I tried once already and it did not work out too well. But it looks like it is doing alright. I was on the Wi-Fi. I had to switch over to the LTE 4G network, and that seems to be doing pretty good now. So we were actually down in the main fish room, so there's more tanks kind of blocking all the Wi-Fi. If I was more on it, I'd probably have a better Wi-Fi system going on right now. Hello, 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 everybody in the chat. How's it going? Ooh, that light is bright. Glad to see everybody. So I hope everybody's having a good Friday, ready for the weekend. I know I am. I got some shoveling I got to do, but I will be so glad to have it done. I got to race winter time before the ground gets soft or hard. SC Aquatics, Stephen Conroe, also known as SC Aquatics, now throwing down a $20 super chat. I appreciate it, bro. Always great to see you in here, and always appreciate the support. And we can get the party started. Whoop, 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 whoop. Alright, and I gotta get myself out of this top chat. I know I'm in top chat. Oh, look at that. I remembered. In the live chat. I am on it. I am on it. But hello, 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 hello. All the awesome people in the chat. I see you. I see you all. So, how are your green jades? So, I've messed with green jade a lot. And the thing about green jades is they always morph colors, especially older they get. And the ones that I've created myself always tend to turn back to yellow. So they're really, 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 really hard to line out. So I haven't put much work into them, and I really don't have a steady line of green jade. Now, there probably is some people out there that have better lineage of green jade than I do, because some have worked on it, but it is really, really tricky. Even top breeders that I talk to and stuff, they all have problems with it. Lumpy Dog says, watching an old LRB video about the white color in their breeding project. Whatever happened to it? Okay, well, I can do that actually right now. I will show you, because I've actually been meaning to catch him out of here. So there's the daddy. He actually ended up jumping over here. There's some baby dwarf neon rainbows in there and some other shrimp. But I haven't spent a whole lot of time with it. Some of them went wild. Some of them went back to scarlet. But some did have sort of the white trace to them, but not many. Not enough to like really motivate me to really keep going forward yet. Like that one has some white. I don't know. I might try again. Try a different female with him. So he still has quite a bit of the white. But you don't see many white endlers like that, so I don't know. It'd be kind of worth it to try it. But glad you asked, because I have been terrible about doing updates. Where'd he go? But I gotta get him out of there. Alright. And yeah, scarlets are actually where I got that morph from. But I didn't realize that the more you colony breed, the more chance the strain actually has to go towards its wild form. So it's actually better to breed more of a one-on-one when it comes to guppies and endlers. And I've noticed that with my fish room too, because I was actually giving Haley a real hard time about it, thinking that I don't know, she was mixing some fry here and there or something. Just like, what is going on with these? But I went to one of the talks. It was at the Keystone Clash, and they have a guppy group over there. Oh man, I know it starts in Pennsylvania as the guppy group. I wish I could remember exactly, because it's a great group. Patrick Nedley, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I super appreciate it, Patrick. And it was great meeting you at Aquashell in Dallas a long time ago. Hope all's been well. Says, have you ever tried lighting siestas for plants? So I haven't, so have you ever tried lighting siestas for plants? If you're talking about like them taking a break, like giving them a nap throughout the day, I have tried doing that. Wow, I gotta flip this over. Guys are two alphas are going at it, but I have given my plants breaks and naps throughout the day, like giving it a period, trying to kill some algae or whatever. I come to find out that it created more of an imbalance for me within my systems as a whole. Now, it doesn't always mean that one tank's going to be the same as another tank, but as a whole, it didn't help. It was better to just have that normal photo period. Man, I'm loving those rainbows. But thank you. Hopefully that answers your question, Patrick. I appreciate it. SC Aquatics says, LRB, how often do you check your tanks in the utility room? Oh. I actually check them daily. But if you really think I'm going to have to look. He says he put a filter in here somewhere. It's probably not running if he did get it in here. But I have not found it. He gave one to Haley, supposedly, to hide on me. But thanks for the hint. I'll have to check that out for sure. How's the quality of the video here? Like, it looks amazing for me, but I don't know how it looks for you guys. Are we in Lego Lucas, or is it actually decent? Let me know in the comments. Fish Room Fever. Hi, Candy. I'm sure things aren't better, but are they at least not worse? Yes, Candy. I hope everything is getting better. I heard, and so sorry to hear. Nocturnal Aquarius, glad to see you in here. Says, hey, I was able to catch it. Yes. So glad to see you in here. And I got the mangroves and I got the shungite. And yes, I totally was like bummed when I realized I forgot to grab that. And then I'm so glad you ended up handing it to Haley. That was awesome to get that. So thank you very much, Nocturnal Aquarius, for the mangrove and the shungite. Can you get pearlweed to carpet without CO2? Yes, you can, actually, Ryan. You just got to keep trimming it. Just have to keep trimming it. Because it'll want to grow up. If you don't trim it, it will want to, like, grow up and out. But the more you cut it down, the more it'll actually root. That's like most plants. So the more you trim, like, stem plants and stuff, it's either going to grow up out this way, all over the place, and not as much roots, but if you keep trimming it, it'll actually put more of the energy into the roots to keep it down. And that's how you can get those nice lush bushes, if you do actually trim it. You see this guppy grass, how it's not very stringy. This is actually guppy grass. But these rainbow fish are constantly nibbling and eating at this. I threw it in there to just kind of help with the imbalance. And since they've been eating it constantly, it just stays compact. Same with like the Lymphnophilia aromatica. I keep picking at it, so it just gets bushier and bushier. The more you pick at it, if I just let it go, it'd get straggly. Same thing with trees outside. You get into bonsai and stuff like that. That's why we trim our bushes and whatnot. Yeah, hopefully that answers the question. Alright, let's see. Nocturnal Aquarius says, anytime, brother man, do you think Angel's Discus would use them for a breeding surface since they like to lay? Oh yeah, for sure. On uplift tubes and filter intakes, for sure. And I'm sure you could probably lean them over on the side too. You wouldn't have to have the mangroves growing like directly straight up. You could easily probably get them growing sideways. So yeah, that would be a good natural kind of like breeding surface for angels or discus. I wonder how deep the mangroves can actually grow, Nocturnal Aquarius. If you know, let me know in the chat here. Hopefully I'll see it. I am in an actual live chat, not top chat. But yeah, let me know how deep they could actually grow. I would love to know. Fish Tank Barn. Mike Howe, thank you so much, Fish Tank Barn, for the $5 super chat. Says, tip jar, are you going to AE or the OCA? So AE, I'm probably not going to be able to make it. It's just too far for me. Too expensive at this time. As far as the OCA, I've really been thinking about trying to get to the OCA. A lot of people have been trying to talk me into that. And that's not too far. So I may go to that. But Mike, it was great to see you at Aquashella. I was glad you could make it. I know a lot of people and YouTubers had troubles getting there to Aquashella, and glad you were able to get through the monsoon and actually make it there. GB Rose 3, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, got the order, all is great. If you could build a 20 tank rack, what mix of tanks would you put? Shrimp and some live bear or some live breeders. So I have built a 20 by 20 rack, which actually holds 20 longs. I'll give you a quick peek at it because actually going in here we tend to lose service. But this is a 20 by 20 long rack. Gonna mostly use it for breeding, so it's not gonna have much for lights on it. I actually prefer to breed and raise fry without light. The light's more for us and the plants. But it all kind of depends. Like, that's kind of a big rack. It depends on the space you have. If you want to go 2010s. If I could, 4-gallon breeders would be awesome. 125-gallon longs would be awesome. Like Flip from Aquatics, he's doing, like, I don't know how many 125-gallon longs. Like, I'm super jelly of that. Like, that's one of my favorite layout. Always more the better. Especially if you're going to live, I don't know, if you're going to live breeders too, you might want to keep it down to like 20, because you don't want to end up with more fish than you could actually move, because they could eat you out of house and home as well. But yeah. Let's see. Scrolling. Lucas, what's your favorite plant to grow out of the water? That's a really tough one. I would say the Brazilian pennywort's been really cool to see up out of the water. I'll tell you one of my least favorites is angustifolia. That's because once it flowers, it really stinks. Lymphnophilia, cool. Rotalia rotunda. But DB Rose, thank you again for your super chat. Hopefully that helps you out. But if you're going to go shrimp, I don't know, that 20 by 20 long rack's not a bad choice. But the only problem is if you put it up against the wall, it could be hard to get back to the back of it. It's like, that's what these are. I mean, they're great for breeding. I mean, you can get a decent amount out of them. And they're a lot easier to reach too. It'd be cool if they had like I don't know, like that size of tank, like 210s side by side with that like footprint. I know they got a lot of cool frag tanks out there. If actually I would do something differently for shrimp especially, I'd probably lean towards the frag shrimp or frag tanks. Matt M. Aquatics, do you have to do anything special for selling fish as far as permitting in your state? It doesn't seem like anyone knows specifically what I need to do in West Virginia. Thanks. So, every state can be different. But for the most part, most states, there is not a lot of regulation on this hobby. Luckily. Thank God. Because, yeah. that's a whole nother subject I don't want to get into right now. Ginger Graves says dollar per gallon sale going on at Petco. Picked up a 40 breeder and 20 long. Awesome, Ginger Graves. It was great to meet you at Aquashella too. Finally got to meet Ginger Graves. One of the sweetest ladies in the hobby. Helps so many people out. And was the 40-gallon breeder $1 per gallon too? I'd be interested in knowing that, Ginger, because I know they quit doing the 40-gallon breeders as the $1 gallon sale a while ago. Patrick Nedley, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says my daughter Frankie would like to see your angels. If you can show her, she would love it. Oh, Patrick Nedley. Oh, Patrick. Unfortunately, Wesley is asleep in there right now, and the lights are off. So I'm pretty sure Sarah would probably kill me if I tried to do that. But I will try. Man. Maybe I should do a video on those before I sell them on Sunday. Because they are beautiful. Those angelfish are absolutely beautiful. But I just don't really have the space for them now. I kind of want that tank for breeding. I want to try to breed these little mini catfish in there that are in that 20-gallon. Or maybe even the Pandagaras or the Discus, because that's what that tank was originally for. But kind of sucker for buying fish sometimes, and so I got those angelfish. But I'm sorry, Patrick. I really wish I could. Frankie, tomorrow, tell you what, I'll try to get a video on those angelfish. Because, yeah, hopefully they find a new home Sunday. SC Aquatics, thank you again for the support. Throwing down a $5 super chat. It says, thought I was clever dosing calcium via eggshells. Saw you did a video of it a couple of years ago. So, yes, I did go through that method of trying to use eggshells for calcium, which, I mean, it slowly dissolves. It's kind of like crushed coral in a sense. Like, you could really mash it down, but for the work it takes to actually do it, it's a lot easier to buy a $6 bag of GH booster from Nilo CG. I don't know if anybody else sells anything like that. I think I'm getting them all. Pretty sure. But I'm doing my best. Aquatic Mama says, I think the 40s are half off. Question. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm wondering. Oh, here she says, 40-gallon breeder and 55-gallon are both half off. Makes a 40-gallon breeder about $49. So that's not too shabby. Brian P. said he got 50% off a 75-gallon. That's nice. That is nice. Hello, Fish Nerd. Was glad to see you, Carlos. He's getting ready to have a baby. He's going to be a daddy. It's a good time. It's fun. But it was great to see him at Aquashella as well. Plus, oh yeah. Even when Petco does do those deals, if you have like Pet Supply Plus or something like that around you, they will price match for you. SC Aquatics again with the $5 super chat. Super appreciated, bro. Says, I use my coffee bean grinder. Turns it into powder. Oh, man, you use that thing for everything. That's a good idea. For the eggshells, that's pretty smart. That thing's multi-purposeful, for sure. He says he uses his food for that, too. Caylors Aquatics, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, Lucas, can we share the link to Candy's GoFundMe? Yes, definitely, most definitely. You can share that, for sure. Somebody else must have gone on. We just dropped like 20 people. Matt Riddle, what was your final opinion of the straight tanks you tried out? So they're good, but it depends on what fish you actually put in there. If like Cory cats and a bunch of fish who like to like actually destroy the substrate and like sift through it and stuff, not the best choice. But if you have mostly mid-water, top-water fish, it's actually a real good choice. The plants tend to like it. It's cheap. Can be time-consuming to make too, though. But if you don't have a whole lot of money, I mean, nothing's better than backyard dirt. It doesn't get cheaper than free. Michaelitz, thank you so much for the support. Throwing down a $15 super chat. Says, hey brother, can't stay on. About to grab dinner with friends in NYC. Here's something for the pond fun. Hashtag fish party. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hope the golf game's going well for you. And if I saw correctly, said you smashed like 400 plus yards on a drive. Is that for real? Like, if so, that's insane. And yeah, keep up the good work, Michael. Thank you for the support, and have fun at your dinner with your friends. CMPI82, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says it was awesome to finally meet you in person. It was awesome to meet you in person as well, Caleb. I know we've talked back and forth on emails and whatnot for a while because you've been a Patreon of mine for a moment, and you even gave me a $2 super chat with a real $2 bill at Aquashella. That was really neat. I haven't seen one of those for a long time. But it was great to meet you and your dad. Real cool people. But thank you. And Mr. Snickle Fritz, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. Money for the cause. Thank you. Says, longtime fan. Don't normally catch you live. By the way, these static antlers I got from you are fire. Yeah, those static antlers are pretty sweet fish. I mean, I remember when I first saw those, I was like, those are definite must-have. But thank you for your order, and thank you for the support, the super chat, Mr. Snickle Fritz. I appreciate that. It's very, very nice of you. Oh, you guys are so nice to me. I appreciate it. You guys have no idea. I'm tired from digging. I was out digging in the backyard pretty much all day. Just trying to get everything leveled out there. So it's nice to just hang out and sit. Especially after eating in a shower. Gabor Rock Sabu, I don't know. I'm sure I destroyed that, but hey Gabe, how's it going? Says, hey LRB, are you going to the CAOAC, I think I got that right, convention in Canada? Is that like the Canadian Australia convention? I posted something like that on my Instagram, and actually let me flip this over, and it's for a rainbow show, I believe. And I definitely want to try to make it there. It's like May 2020, I believe, if I read right. I would love to make it there, up in Ontario. Even though they harassed me coming back from Canada and America, my own government harassed me. Can you believe that? Yeah, I would still do that again to go check out more rainbow fish. Did you say there's a guppy group in PA? I'm from PA. UG Aquatics, yes. Oh my gosh, actually, let me see something. I know I had the Keystone Clash pamphlet here, but I think, shoot, pretty sure I already threw it away. Man, I know I would have had it in there. I wish I could remember what guppy club that is. If anybody knows what guppy club that is in Pennsylvania, then let me know. That way I can share it. Because the more people in these clubs, the better. Our aquatics hope the pond's going well, ROB. It was great to meet you and Wesley at Aquashella. Yes, the ponds are going well. Oh, I wish I knew I could put a face to the tag. I always try to ask the YouTube tag too, as well as the name. But I'm sure it was great to meet you. I mean, I enjoyed meeting everybody there. Aquarius says, is there any way I can bribe you for some shellies? I've been wanting to breed them for years and haven't been able to find a good source for them. Are you actually from the Chicago area? Because if you are from the Chicago area, this Sunday is the GCCA swap It's from 10 to 2 p.m. And I know Jason Adams is going to have some. I was going to catch some to try to trade with him. And maybe I'll bring some extras. So should be some Shelleys there if you are in the Chicago surrounding area. Oh, here we go. Nocturnal Aquarius said it's straight up PA Guppy Club. Well, there you go. There you go. Nocturnal Aquarius, thank you for finding that out. And yes, PA Guppy Club. Check that out. And I know they do like the surrounding states too, so it's not exactly just PA Guppy Club. CMPI 82, is anyone from Indiana going to the GCCA swap meet this Sunday? He's asking. FishTube, Caylors Aquatics, ask Doug Gray about the Guppy group. He probably knows. I'm not sure who Doug Gray is. And yes, Candy Overhauls, that's the link. Okay. If you breed endlers with guppies, do the offspring resemble the guppies more or the endlers? Well, it could really vary. Like the hybrids that I have actually seen come out of endlers and guppies that I have messed with tend to go towards the smaller side, and I would say towards the endler side of it. Yeah, Gabe, I want to go to that rainbow show for sure. LRB, you better get me those dates. I'm booking 2020 talks, Lady LRB says. Yes, May 2020. I'll have to get the exact date for you. I didn't tell her yet. But I just found out about it not too long ago. It was Wesley signing autographs. I don't know. Maybe. Wesley's a character. Buffering a little. Yeah, let me get closer here. Let's actually look at these Exodons. Boop. Maybe. There we go. These guys are fun to watch. Especially if I were to feed them. I should throw them a little food. Let me throw these guys a little food real quick. That'll really bring them out and get them active. Or maybe we'll just watch them a little bit without enticing them. Or their natural behavior. Lucas Doug is the famous breeder, IFGA, etc. My blue and red Luke Robux came from him. He's OG squad breeder. Oh, interesting, Caylors. Oh, excuse me, Caylors Aquatics. I will have to read up more on that guy. Lucas bringing any shrimp. So, Michael, I will not be able to bring any shrimp to the GCCA. They're still on their cool down period right now. Lots of babies, lots of buried females. It's just going to take time. Just going to take time to bring them up. SC Aquatics, I'd probably go broke without you. Thank you again so much for the $5 super chat and the support. Says, do you think Sarah would notice if I brought a bulldozer over? Wesley would love it, I'm sure. And I'm sure Sarah would probably notice too. But bulldozer, I can make some quick work out of some stuff. I still have that car hood too. I've been digging the rest of the trench for the bottom wall. I had to take out a big old bush and stuff. Trying to dig through roots, you know how fun that is. SC Aquatics is the guy who helped me move a bunch of those big rocks in the backyard, which is actually making that more of a doable project that I hope to get done here before the winter time. But thank you again, SC Aquatics. Another The Z says, hey, LR Aquatics, do you think zebra leopard danos and WCM minnows, white cloud minnows, also corridors palliatus, would do good outside during the winter? I usually don't get snow here, but you never know. So I definitely know the white cloud minnows would do alright. As far as the danos, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what your low temperatures are going to be. I'd definitely probably put a heater in there with them, just in case if you did try to do it. And as far as the corridors palliatus, I don't know how cool they can maintain at a constant cool temperature. So really, I don't know. Legos, you guys are getting Legos? Oh no, that's not good. Let me get back up to here. If you guys are getting Lego Lucas again. But yeah, I don't know. It's a gamble with the Danios and the Corys. I do know the white clouds can do it. I've learned that from experience and actually seen them underneath ice. So I know there's no worries with those. Do you feed the Exodons anything else besides granules? No, actually, that's all I feed them is the granules. That I like it. I'm glad you said something, because now I can feed them. Granule goodness. It's what fish crave. A little midstream feeding. Should probably move into the garage. I wonder if the reception would be better in there. Night Aquatic Ma. Boom. These guys eat like crazy too. What was your biggest fish keeping mistake or bad idea? It's a good question. Probably when my arowana jumped and he like got a cut on his back and I like freaked out and gave him a salt bath, and that just did not work out well for him, and it probably was not good to him. So it was almost like fish torture, but not purposefully. And I just should have probably not have freaked out. Should have just let the infection heal normally, just because I didn't really understand what was going on with the fish. Just think, oh, it must be some disease, but it was actually just an infection of a wound. But I learned a lot from that. A lot. Especially to not freak out and just start medicating to be medicating. Then sometimes I wish I would have drilled these tanks. But I don't know if I would be completely happy with that. Like, I totally, when it came to building this whole fish room, like, I don't know, I just kept building it all. I didn't really plan it out fully. So now, we do a lot of water changes. But man, I tell you what, I don't think it would be the same. If I did it as a central system, what I would have done is drilled these tanks out. But I'd only use it for water changes, so I could water change everything quicker. I wouldn't run them all day. I think especially with the plants, it's just better with no flow. Like, look at that moss. I mean, all these plants, it's no flow, no filter, no airline. That one's got an airline that's running, but it's got algae. I think airline sometimes could promote the algae too, just because of the possible hydrogen. I could be wrong though. Okay, I'm gonna try to move in to the garage. Maybe it's not as Lego-y in there. See if we can get better service. All this blame Haley talk. Alright, let's see. Scrolling. If you got questions, I am at the bottom. So go ahead and ask your questions if you got them. Look at the 240 a little bit. It's about due for a water change. We'll turn this on. I actually left this on all weekend during Aqua Shell and came back to a green water 240. So really it's not looking too bad considering what it did look like. This is unwatchable. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. I'm guessing moving into the garage did not help. SC Aquatics throwing down the $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Do you use Wi-Fi or LTE? We're on LTE right now because actually when I first started this stream, the Wi-Fi wasn't enough. But HC Aquatics, thank you for a $5 super chat. Says LRB 2020 Central System, whole house Wi-Fi and Alexa. I got you. I do not want Alexa in my house. I do need better Wi-Fi. I will agree with you there, and I need to hook that up. But yeah, no Alexa, please. Definitely no Alexa. But I appreciate the support and the $5 super chat. But yeah, I need to just, yeah, if I had better Wi-Fi, it's kind of my fault too. Like I do have better internet service than I really have. I just haven't made it a point to go to Comcast yet and actually switch out the things. But then I'd still have to figure out something for down here. And it's just whenever you got so many tanks to mess with and so much time in a day and a child, a family and a backyard and everything else. Priorities, like so many of them. It's like, where are they really taking me? So I go through a lot of contemplations too. I won't lie, but yeah. The internet, if I want to continue to stream, I definitely need to help and fix that and do something about that. But thank you, SC Aquatics, Stephen, for the support. And once again, at the bottom of the chat, got that question. Ian Zeglin says, is a central pump the most effective way to aerate a fish room of 20 tanks, or is there some other options? So I actually use the Tetra Whispers myself for like 20 tanks or so. I mean, sometimes those big air pumps can be noisy, but if you have somewhere quiet to actually put it and hide it, it could be nice because then you won't have the noise of the Tetra Whisper inside your fish room. So I'd actually plumb it away from my tanks. That way you wouldn't really hear it much. But I mean, I don't really run any airlines in a lot of my tanks. They do great. So they're not absolutely necessary. And you see there's no airline in any of these tanks. No filter or anything. Same with this 20-gallon airline or anything in there. So it's really up to you. There's so many ways to do it. Tori Babson, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I appreciate that, Tori. Says, hi Lucas, I've been checking out everyone's channel since Aquashella. You have some pretty awesome setups. Well, thank you, Tori. I really appreciate the kind words, and I don't know if I got to meet you at Aquashella or not. But thank you for checking out the channel, and thank you for the support. Like, I really appreciate it. Oh, let's see. Says my AP 100 is noisy as a dump truck. Tropical Gems. Must be talking about one of the linear pumps or bigger pumps. Yeah, I actually bought one. It was a Lita, and it was so loud. I plugged it in and then I stuck it right back in the box. I was like, nope, not going in my fish room. I want to be able to handle it. Like, I'd have to build like a soundproof room for it. Bryce Hoffman, what's new with your Cory doors? So a lot of my Cory cats just hang out these days. I haven't really shown much of them though. Let me see. I know I have the Dolphois in here. We could probably get a view out. Oh, now they're gonna be shy. Cold rice. What the heck? Where are they at? Oh, see, that's the problem with Cory cats too. There's a huge school of them. And you can see some back there all chilling. I'm pretty sure they're breeding out here. I had like maybe 3 or 4 in here, but the Dolphois have been breeding in the rock piles over there. I actually have a lot of cory cats. They're just all over the place. I got a lot of fish that people probably really don't realize that I have. Yeah, those Adolfois are one of my favorites. And here you can see more of the cory cats. We'll see. Hopefully it's not too loud in here. But I've been kind of thinking about getting rid of some of my cory cats just because they're constantly mucking up my tanks. These are the Knacki, K-N-A-C-K-I-I. Corridors, kind of like the Julie or salt and pepper, but more distinct spotting on them. I think these are the Venezuelanus corridors. These guys are always out and about. I love these guys. And let's see, I got some stir-by in here somewhere. There's a Wetsman eye down there, I believe, but he's gonna be hard to find. I'm not seeing him. And let's see, I've got more Dolphi. I think I got yeah, here we go. The Duplicarius Corridorus. Oh, there he goes. I've been keeping them a lot with my guppies. Yeah, I love cory cats too. Especially when they get like real comfortable with you, to be able to do that. They're super hungry right now. Finally got all the fish from the bottom tank up and out. Look at those guys. Super, super rare rainbow fish. The Glossolepis maculosus. Procatopus similis. There's no cories in there, but here's more of the Adolfois. There's some rummy nose. I gotta be careful going back here because that internet will fall and drop. I would love to show you those, but oh, look at this bristle nose. Hairy fella. But DLC says, hey Lucas, here's a little. Okay. Awesome, Daniel, Duck Cook. Thank you so much, DLC. Aquaterra, love the new name. That lionfish is sick too in your thumbnail. But thank you again for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Those are the black Moscow guppies. I think this is a Nuri crib or red metallic. That's the thing about the crypts sometimes. I'm terrible at labeling. I should get better at that. There's actually Placos in here too. Hard to see in that cave, but there's a tail poking out. So I've actually got a lot of Placos and cory cats that you guys don't really get to see that much of. Oh, these are cool. These are actually something I got new. They're guppies, but they have the Geisen fins. The male doesn't right now, but to specifically breed out. Boo 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 boo. Yes, I want to thank you all for the support. I really, 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 really appreciate it, and it does go a long way when it comes to this business, because I mean, just doing the fish and the shrimp and the plants and stuff, this is freshwater. It's not like it's saltwater. It's a nickel and dime kind of business. So without your guys' support, it would be a lot harder to do. That's for sure. It's just balancing everything. It can be tough. Especially when you just, like, I'm about at that time where my lights are starting to all kind of go out on me. Like that light just went out on me. That light just went out on me. This light's acting like it wants to go out on me. It's actually a lot dimmer than what it's showing right now. But it was just red earlier. And swordtails, I don't know. You guys interested in some swordtails? I gotta find these guys some new home. So if you are, let me know. I'll throw them on the website. But yeah. So I've got the lights add up. I was gonna end up doing Fluval 3.0s because I was loving the growth that I was getting out of them. But then my Fluval ended up dying out on me too. So now I'm stuck in a rock, stuck between a rock and a hard place on what I want to do for lighting here. And that is not cheap. Big reason why I haven't even replaced it, like this one needed replaced a long time ago. In the trade war, hopefully the lights don't get more expensive with like the aqua neats and stuff. I don't know. I haven't really marketed them yet. What do you mean, LOL, Flip is making tons of money, why are you not taking the proper way? Because, I don't know, there's... Okay, he sells like products and whatnot. There's not a whole lot of products I really use. Now, there is some products that I would create an event. But unfortunately, I do not have the time to really follow through on the production of those. Like, if I had some help, I probably could. Like, I could design it, I could build it, prototype it, all that, but trademarking it and everything else, not my strongest suit. So, I mean, there are some things I could do. I have bigger goals that I would like to do too. Like, I have this idea called the Jetson that would actually change how people bring it to the future. But yeah, I don't know. There's lots I could do. It's just deciding which one to do too. But same with like creating a new air filter. If I were to actually use an air filter, I'd create one that I would find more fitting than due to the standard normal kind of air filter or airline. And I can't really share because I don't know. One day maybe I'll get it like hooked up with the plastic injection company and actually go more towards those dreams or ideas. I don't know, we just do things differently. Like when you keep things natural, it's hard to really push a product when you don't really use a product, you know? It's like, yeah, you could buy this and buy this, and nothing wrong with what they sell. I mean, they do sell livestock. They do sell stuff that helps. I don't know. That, and I am a sole proprietor, so I am not a LLC. So I do business a little differently too. That's another part of it. Have you ever kept licorice gouramis? I have not kept the licorice gouramis. I have kept the sparkling gouramis. I actually bred the sparkling gouramis too, which I actually use like a clay pot, and they'll bubble nest, kind of like bettas do, into the clay pot. But you gotta have it like really soft and acidic for them. Scrolling. And I am at the bottom if you guys got those questions. All right, let's go to the barb tank. When pigs fly that bucket, will you go to Knoxville? I'd love to go to Knoxville. I love Tennessee. I actually grew up in Tennessee, Clarksville, Tennessee, all through elementary. That red dirt means something to me. If you're down in Tennessee, you know all about that red dirt. Hey, Big Rich is in here. Says, what's up, Mr. Placo? What's up, Big Rich? Glad to see you in here, brother. Talk about good people. If you guys haven't seen Ohio Fish Rescue, there's some good people. All right, and if you got your question, I am at the bottom. But yeah, these fish are going crazy. They're hungry. Here's my big fish, Big Rich. This is about as big as it gets in my fish room, besides the discus. These guys a hit too, though, when they eat. Give them a little food. Oh, that's all the broke down granules. The dusty stuff. They don't like the dusty stuff. Give them the good thick granules. Like I ain't even feed them yet. Little piranhas. Yum, 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 yum. CMPI82 says, Caylors Aquatics, if I use GHKH booster, will it make fluval stratum wear out faster? Possibly. Because they'll be working against the buffer, or actually, I don't know. Could slow it down too. I don't know. I've never actually tested that out. Maybe somebody in the chat has experience with that. I don't know. It's a good question though. Because I think the fluval stratum's supposed to go more acidic. I could be wrong. I've never actually used stratum. I've always heard horror stories about it, or people having issues with it. So I've never really been a big fan of it myself. Randy says, can emerald dwarf rasboras handle a pH of 6.5 when the CO2 is on? Yeah, they should be able to. The copeties, they should be able to handle that. Because they actually come from soft water system that's real acidic like that. QT Aquatics says, do you have any Celebes rainbows? Any advice on breeding a pair of them? So the Celebes, that's the thread fin, right? I do have the thread fins. And the best way to breed those is just get a pair of them, or two pair, or a trio, over than group breeding them. Get you like a mossy tank like this, where you got moss on the bottom, maybe a little bit floating on top, and just throw their eggs around everywhere. As far as hardness, I don't think it really matters. Temperatures, mid-70s, you should be all right. Mid-70s up to 80s. And yeah, they're not really picky. You just got to make them comfortable. Most fish, that's all it is. It's not really so much like pinpointing the pH, pinpointing the temperature, or pinpointing parameters. It's just making the fish comfortable enough, happy enough, that it would bother to breed into that environment. Because if they don't have a good environment, I mean, why would they want to multiply in it? But if they do have a nice, hardy, healthy environment, then why would they not want to make a family in it, you know? So that's the biggest trick when it comes to breeding fish. Not so much pH, not so much parameters. That's what I've learned in my experience. King and Queen of Cichlids, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, my first LR Brett's live feed, pretty impressive. Thank you for supporting the Keystone Clash this year. Well, thank you for the support, and it was great to finally meet you guys at the Keystone Clash. I know I don't do a whole lot of cichlids, don't mean I don't like them, but I have checked out your channel. I love your channel. You have some absolutely beautiful fish. Those arowanas, like, I love my arowanas, and you guys have some really nice ones. But I want to thank you for the support, and a big shout out to you guys, King and Queen Cichlids. Let's see. I don't know if that's a question. Let's see. I've got a Escape Artist Platy Fry. One day it showed up in a 20 long on the top rack. No idea where it came from. Yesterday that same fish showed up in a 20 long on the middle rack. It's crazy. Yeah, you gotta be careful with some fry, especially like moving plants and stuff like that. You'd be surprised how they can clean the things. Hoses and whatnot, jump. You gotta think about that too when you're setting up fish side by side, whether they can jump in each other's tanks. Always something to think about. Man, these guys are always hungry. Always. And there's killifish in here too. The killifish actually run the tank. Where's the gold wonder? There he is in the back. This tank's got quite the society. Like, these two killifish, they like own like some of the fish, the hill trouts and the barbs. They like battle like throughout the day, usually after feeding. They'll really put on a show. If I was better at narrating stuff, I could probably make like an Ants Canada video out of it or something, because it's quite intriguing. You see how they just ball up. You got all that tank just because I keep feeding there. But when they're spread out. Caylors Aquatics, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. The hippo spinning around in the chair. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, see, they're still going crazy. Act like they never get fed every day. Water doggies. Green Eye Mama, I have a Buzzmani that has a notch of his head missing between his eyes. Happy and eating. He's had it for months and it's not changing its size. Any thoughts? So often, that would probably be referred to a hole in the head, which is usually poor water conditions. I don't know. Maybe it's not that, but if it's been that for that long, a month, I would say if it was like a bruise, like say sometimes the fish can jump and hit their heads on like these grates and cause problems and like take a little chunk out of their forehead. I've had that happen, but usually that'll heal up over time. And I don't know, I would probably look into the hole in the head disease and see if that may not be the symptoms or problem that may be causing that to happen to that fish, because that's about the only thing I could really think of other than a cut. And so hopefully that helps, because it's not a real progressive disease either. David M., guppies and neocardenias together, it can be done, but if you're going for more breeding purposes, especially for shrimp, I would not mix them. And when it comes to breeding for the guppies, they definitely aren't going to mind because they're going to get a food source out of the shrimp, but it's hard to keep the guppies from eating all the shrimp. Because even the fry can get into like rock piles and whatnot to eat all the small fish. Ooh, look at these emerald tetras, are on fire. Hello guys. I don't look into this tetra tank much just because the reflection's always crazy on it. A lot of these silver tips in here have actually grown up in here. Kind of like a self-sustaining community tetra tank. Yum, 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 yum. Tech Boy says, my Praecox Red Rainbow developed a pimple-like growth, white spot on tip of pimple under the pectoral fin, still very active and eating well. Any ideas? What is it? A white spot. That could be a various of things. Like sometimes I've seen some fish with like white spots like on their tails and stuff. Sometimes it could be just a small infection or something that got under its pectoral and caused the infection. So it could be a number of things. I would say if it doesn't progress, then should be all right. I would just probably watch its natural state as long as it's not hurting them and not getting any bigger. Then I wouldn't mess with it much and just kind of let it go its course. But if it does start progressing and you start seeing your fish go down south, like not doing as well due to it, then I would probably look into using either API fungus cure or Ruby Reef Rally to help fix that, because it'll either be a bacterial or a fungal infection. Sometimes it could even just be like a calcium cyst. I know even like Cory cats can get those. All right. King and Queen Cichlids, thank you again for the support. Throwing down another $10 super chat. Says, sorry that I got in late. What are we feeding these beautiful fish? So, this is what I pretty much feed most of my fish room, is the tetracolor tropical granules. I like to use it because it's having 300 some tanks, or well, a couple hundred tanks. It's really easy to overfeed if you're not careful, and with the orange, it's kind of helped me adjust to that. But fish crave this stuff, like it's crazy. I don't know. I've seen Cory from Aquarium Co-op. He's done some fish room, or actually fish farm tours, where that's all that they feed their live foods back in the day, but they're hard to sustain, and you can get all kinds of other unwanted things from them. But yeah, tetratropical granules, I don't know what it is about them. Fish absolutely love them. You can feed this 240, but thank you again for the support. I appreciate it. I'll give these guys some. I usually crush it up into more of a dust for these guys. Not as much as granularly as there's fish all over the place. I gotta feed all these guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Ian Zeglin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, what's best way to lower pH? If it's leaf litter, how much is too much? So it's hard to really go too much with leaf litter. I don't think you can go too much with leaf litter. Sphagnum moss is really good to use. Peat moss is really good to use. Those you can use more in a media. Leaf litter's really good to use. But it is hard to balance. Like the active substrate's also good to use because it's more of a slower release too. Malaysian driftwoods. But it depends on what you're working with, how soft you're trying to get it. Because if you're working with like hard water and you're trying to get it soft, it can be really hard because that calcium will buffer so much that it'll almost make it impossible to keep low. But if you already have neutral water where you don't have much of a buffer in it, then sphagnum moss, peat moss, that leaf litter, that can actually go a real long way. But just keep an eye on it as it goes low. Leaf litter is a great source to use. I don't know what your goal is, if it's for shrimp or for breeding fish, but sphagnum moss in a media bag or peat moss in a bag, that also is a great way. That way you can interchange it out. Yum, yum, yum. I gotta feed this side too, because all the slower guys, I got a lot of my older fish, like some of my killies and whatnot, that are like on the older side. They get to retire into the 240. This red lotus has popped up like crazy. What is your oldest fish? My oldest fish is actually a Raphael cat that I hardly ever see. He's in that 125 that's on the bottom down there. I don't know how old he is. Probably like 7 years or so. Probably more. Actually, he's probably like 8 or 9. John Cruz, any of the more rare rainbow fish going on the website for sale? I'm itching to get into more types of rainbows. So I really want to put them on the site, but I really want to put them in like an auction because I only have so much of them and they take so long to grow out. And I just don't want to end up cutting myself short, because I tend to do that. And I figured if somebody's willing to pay more for them, they're probably more willing to breed them and do more with them and we really need these types of rainbow fish to be bred. So if I do sell them, I want somebody who will breed them. How long does it take to feed all your fish? So it takes me, I would say, about 20 minutes tops, maybe less, 15 minutes. Now if my girlfriend were to try to do it, or Haley, it would take them longer, but I've done it so long that it's just like boom, boom. I just run right through it. This tank could eat forever too. Look at all these guys down here. Love it. When they start doggy piling like that. But these catfish are what I want to breed. Like, part of me's been debating whether to get rid of the discus, but I mean, I watch them now and I'm like, man, I really can't, because I do absolutely love watching them, love seeing them in here. But man, it's so hard not to just turn this into a ring tank too. So I know those Congo tetras would breed out like crazy in here. Like, what fish would not breed out like crazy in a 240? Give any fish a 240, more than likely they're gonna breed. What are those fish on the bottom called, Anthony Perry? These are the Pandagaras. Garaflachas. Love them. Little water dogs. I love their mouths. They have like a sucker mouth, but not really. They have like a sucker up underneath their lip, but then like a normal kind of mouth. It's real wild. You can see how they just kick everything up. That's how everything gets up into the water column. This is just them constantly kicking stuff into the water column. If it didn't have those fish in here, it'd probably look a lot clearer. But hey, do they eat plants? I don't know. I don't really catch them eating much for plants. Really algae, diatoms, stuff like that. Everything else. SC Aquatics, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Holy cow. It says, discus gotta stay. After seeing yours, I'm rehoming my cichlid tank so I can get a 125 discus tank. Ooh, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome, SC Aquatics. But thank you for a $5 super chat. And yeah, as much as I would love to just be like, oh, businessman, I gotta breed. Dude, every time I come down here and look at them, how could you get rid of them? I love them. All right, well, I think I'm way over the hour mark here. I'm getting kind of hungry. Won't lie. Anthony Perry says, I got a tetra for my LFS last night and he isn't eating and acting lethargic. Ooh, that's not good. He might have internal parasites or something. I would definitely try to hit him with some general cure. If they're lethargic and not eating, it's usually not a good sign. Make sure your water's right too. But yes. Any chance you're selling at the GCAS this month? I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to that or not. Is that skinny discus getting better? So yes, he is. The one that everybody was like, oh, he's skinny, he's going to die. He's actually doing really well. He's real happy. He still gets into it with this guy. I think he was just used to being alpha, but he got dethroned by this guy. And he got all sensitive about it. And yeah, now he's doing all right though. That's my guess. But all right. Anyways, I got to peel this off like a Band-Aid because I could easily talk to you guys forever about fish. But I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Hopefully I helped some people. I know some of you guys have absolutely helped me big time with the super chats and all that. And just watching, hanging out, liking, subscribing, all that really helps what I'm doing here. And I want to thank you all for that. And holy cow, SC Aquatics. $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Stephen Conroe. You're too kind. You're just thank you. I can't thank you enough. Throwing down a $50 super chat says, take Sarah out on a date night for how awesome she is. Yeah, she probably deserves that. I'm not the best at that, and I appreciate it, Steven, aka SC Aquatics. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But alright, hope you guys all have a great weekend, and I may pop on live tomorrow and try to remember to do that angelfish video since I won't have them later on. And since I did say I would, I will do my best to do so. So, alright, I'll see you guys. Till next time, everybody. Peace. Have a great one. Shoot. And yeah, I need to get better at making more videos for you guys. And I know this, man.